0400 AM. Rolling across the 12-mile, $3.7 billion Crimean Bridge is a convoy of 20 heavy military trucks. They are carrying Vladimir Putin's personal Christmas presents for his troops in Crimea. Crates of 9 M96 missiles for the S-400 system, thousands of 152mm artillery shells, and heavy armored repair vehicles. He projected absolute confidence, believing his logistics lines were untouchable. He was wrong. Floating silently in the chop just 8 miles from the bridge is a Ukrainian Magura-class sea drone. Resting on its deck is a swarm of 15 FPV kamikaze drones, each costing a few $1,000s. They are tethered by a hair-thin strand of fiber-optic cable, making them physically immune to the massive electronic jamming protecting the strait. The Russians have fortified this bridge like a fortress. There is a Pantsir S-1M air defense system perched on a specially built 115-foot steel tower on Tuzla Island, scanning the horizon for threats. There are S-400 batteries on both shores, but they are all looking for radio signals and high-altitude missiles. They have no idea that a swarm of silent, unjammable assassins is about to launch from the waves right under their noses. In exactly 120 seconds, the most protected bridge in the world is going to become a trap. But to understand the lethality of this moment, you have to rewind 72 hours. A Ukrainian Magura V7 class sea drone has been hibernating here, floating 8 miles off the coast. Its lithium-ion batteries kept it in sleep mode, with only a small snorkel breaking the surface to sip air. It waited for this exact convoy. On the bridge deck above, the target profile is a logistician's wet dream. 20 heavy-lift beasts, Kamaz 6560s and Ural 6370s, each weighing 40 tons. The total value of this rolling parking lot is easily $80 million. Then, the Magura's hatch opens. 15 FPV kamikaze drones launch into the freezing spray. Each bird weighs just 8 pounds and carries a tandem warhead packing the equivalent of 3 pounds of TNT. As they climb, each drone unspools a hair-thin strand of fiber-optic cable. This is 12 miles of glass wire that provides a hardline, unjammable connection. While Russian jamming stations are blasting radio static into the ether, these drones are streaming crystal-clear 1080p video with zero latency. The flight profile is suicidal. The swarm drops to 35 feet, literally surfing the crests of the 6-foot waves churning in the Kerch Strait. The wind is gusting at force 7, buffering the tiny aircraft like leaves in a storm. At this altitude, they are invisible. To the Russian sensors, they are just ocean spray. To the convoy on the bridge, they are the Grim Reaper approaching at 60 miles per hour. At 0402 AM, the convoy rolls onto the central span near Tuzla Island, driving straight into the protection of the Pantsir S-1M. This specific air defense unit is perched on a custom-built 115-foot steel tower, giving its 1RS-21E gravestone radar a commanding view of the strait. It is designed to see everything, and right on cue, it spots the bait. Ukraine has sacrificed 3 standard radio-controlled FPV drones, flying them deliberately high at 200 feet to scream for attention. The radar operator, a confident young lieutenant, lights up. Low-altitude targets acquired, velocity 60 knots, engaging. 2 57E6M hypersonic missiles tear out of the tubes, accelerating to Mach 4 instantly. They cover the 2-mile distance in seconds. The decoys disintegrate in mid-air, showering the dark water with burning plastic. A wave of relief washes over the convoy. The drivers chuckle over the encrypted radio network. Just another Ukrainian probe, probably testing the perimeter. Go back to sleep, boys. The electronic warfare units crank their jammers to maximum power, flooding the airwaves with enough noise to disconnect every drone in Crimea. They believe the sky is impenetrable. They believe the threat is over. While they are high-fiving over destroying a few $100s of bait with $500,000 of missiles, the real threat is sliding underneath them. The fiber-optic swarm is hugging the water at 35 feet, completely invisible to the radar's line of sight and physically immune to the jamming. The Russians just locked the front door, but they forgot they built the house on stilts, and the termites are already climbing the legs. At 0405 AM, the swarm closes the distance to 1 mile. The feed on the Ukraine operator's screen is crystal clear 1080p, free of the usual static snow. He can see the convoy details now. The trucks are crawling at 25 miles per hour. bottlenecked by the security checkpoints and the narrow 4-lane structure. It is a shooting gallery. The operator scans the line of heavy KMAZ trucks, ignoring the lead vehicles. He is looking for the domino piece. "There," he whispers, spotting a truck with a heavy suspension compression. "Center column. That's the 152mm ammunition. We pop that and the whole bridge wakes up." He nudges the stick forward. "Windage is good. Let's make some noise." At 04:06 a.m., the physics of the ambush turn violent. Drone Alpha, traveling at a terminal velocity of 120 miles per hour, slams into the side of the middle KMAZ 656E. The tandem warhead functions with surgical cruelty. The precursor charge punches a clean hole through the truck's armored cargo bed, paving the way for the main charge to detonate inside the payload. Boom! It isn't a massive fireball at first. It is a spark in a powder keg. Inside the truck, 500 rounds of 152mm high explosive artillery shells begin to cook off. 10 seconds later, the laws of thermodynamics take over. The truck disintegrates in a massive secondary explosion that creates a pressure wave strong enough to cave in the cabs of the vehicles in front and behind it. The dominoes are falling. Dominoes. On the bridge, panic reigns. "Explosion! Sector 4! We are hit!" screams the convoy commander. Drivers slam on their brakes, but on a narrow 75-foot wide bridge with nowhere to turn, a traffic jam becomes a death trap. Desperate to hide, the Russian bridge defense team triggers the emergency smoke generators. Massive canisters spew thick, chemical white fog across the deck, reducing visibility to less than 50 feet in seconds. They think they are safe. They think they have blinded the enemy. Back in Odessa, the Ukrainian operator leans back and laughs. "White Christmas, huh? Cute trick." He flips a toggle switch. The fiber-optic feed instantly shifts from standard optical to forward-looking infrared. On his screen, the white smoke, which blocks visible light, disappears entirely. Through the thermal lens, the burning wreckage of the first truck glows like a sun, and the cold metal outlines of the remaining targets stand out like neon signs. The Russians aren't hiding, they are highlighted. "I see you," he whispers. Drones Bravo and Charlie dive through the smoke, guided by the heat signatures. They ignore the chaos and head for the high-value prizes. The truck's carrying the 9M96 solid fuel missiles for the S-400. 2 more explosions rock the bridge. Solid rocket fuel is nasty stuff. It doesn't just explode, it burns with an oxidizer-fed intensity that water cannot put out. The Pantsir on the tower above starts firing its cannons blindly into the smoke, spraying 30mm shells into the empty air, terrified and confused. The Russian lieutenant is screaming into his radio. "I have no targets! How are they seeing us? The jamming is at maximum! Physics says they should be blind!" He is right. Radio physics says they should be blind, but he forgot about fiber optics, and that oversight is currently burning down the bridge beneath his feet. At 04:09 a.m., the ambush shifts from a raid to a systematic execution. The 10 remaining drones in the swarm don't rush, they circle like sharks smelling blood in the water, their thermal eyes piercing the thick chemical smoke that the Russians panicked and deployed. They begin picking apart the convoy piece by piece, targeting high-value electronic component trucks and mobile repair workshops with terrifying precision. Every impact sends a shudder through the $3.7 billion structure, testing engineering limits that were designed for earthquakes, not for a localized firestorm burning at 2,000 degrees inside a traffic jam. Up on the Tuzla Tower, the Russian lieutenant is watching his career and possibly his life go up in smoke. He screams into the handset, his voice cracking with desperation as he calls for the S-400 battalion stationed at the bridgeheads to engage. But the response is a terrifying silence. The S-400 Triumph is a long-range beast designed to kill AWACS planes over the Black Sea, not a target sitting on the bridge deck 5 miles away. The radar clutter from the steel arches is too dense, and the minimum engagement altitude is too high. The mighty Russian air defense grid is paralyzed by simple geometry. They are holding a sniper rifle when they desperately need a shotgun. In the Odessa bunker, the operator ignores the chaos. He has tunnel vision for one specific thermal signature glowing white-hot at the very head of the convoy. The lead Ural 6372 fuel tanker carrying 10,000 gallons of winter diesel. The strategy is brutal but effective. Burn the front so they can't move forward, burn the back so they can't retreat, and seal the bottle. He selects Drone Omega, nudging the throttle forward for the final run. The drone dives out of the smoke, leveling out at windshield height and accelerating to 90 miles per hour. The bridge deck blurs into a gray streak as the aircraft weaves through the burning wreckage of the first trucks, dodging falling debris like a pod racer in a canyon run. The distance closes in heartbeat intervals. Through the high-definition fiber-optic feed, the operator sees the target clearly, the massive tanker idling, trapped by the chaos ahead. As the drone screams into the final 100 yards, the camera captures a fleeting, high-definition glimpse of the Russian driver through the reinforced glass. His eyes are wide, frozen in absolute terror as he watches the black shape rushing toward him out of the smoke, realizing exactly what is about to happen. "Merry bloody Christmas, buddy!" the operator yells, slamming the stick forward. The drone buries itself into the side of the 10,000-gallon tank. The detonation is instantaneous. The diesel doesn't just catch fire, it vaporizes into an aerosol and detonates. A massive wall of liquid fire erupts, engulfing the entire width of the central span and turning the night sky into noon. The convoy is trapped between burning wreckage in the rear and a wall of fire in the front. The trap is sealed. At 04:10 a.m., the central span of the Crimean Bridge ceases to be a roadway and becomes a blast furnace. The final FPV drone didn't just puncture the fuel tank, it triggered a catastrophic phase change. The 10,000 gallons of winter diesel, vaporized by the initial detonation, ignite in a thermobaric event that rivals a small tactical nuke. A fireball rises 300 feet into the freezing pre-dawn air, visible from the coastlines of both Russia and occupied Crimea. By sunrise, the black smoke from the Kerch Strait is visible from low Earth orbit. The damage assessment is a disaster for the Kremlin. The bridge itself is still standing, Russian engineering is robust, but the roadway is a melted, twisted ruin of asphalt and slag. At least 15 heavy military vehicles are burned skeletons. The 500 rounds of artillery ammunition are gone. The S-400 missiles are gone. The repair equipment is gone. But the real loss isn't the hardware, it's the timeline. This convoy was the winter lifeline for the Southern Front. With the rail bridge already under strain and the ferry crossings often closed by winter storms, this road link was critical. Now it is a crime scene that will take weeks to clear and repair. Every day this bridge is throttled is a day that a Russian artillery battery in Zaporizhzhia goes silent due to ammo hunger. Alright, tactical minds, here's the question of the day. Fiber-optic drones are unjammable, but they have a limited range due to the cable spool. If you were a Russian commander facing this threat, how would you stop it? Would you install physical nets under every bridge, or is there an electronic solution we haven't thought of? Let me know your defensive strategy in the comments below, and I'll break down the best countermeasures in the next video.